Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, let's go. Hmm. Well. Good afternoon, one and all. Here I am. It is Juan. We are live on the radio. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Quiet on the set. Yes. No doubt about it. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. There's Roberta Farrell. Hello, one and all. Noon report live. Although some people watch it later. Will you be on this afternoon? It depends. Hi there, there's Lynn Miller. Talk Wattengate lives on. There's Anne Marie. All right, folks, we're live. Hi there, Denise. Folks, share that you're watching. There's Crystal. There's Ray Kelly. Cranston PD Live. We may do it Saturday night. This Saturday night. I don't know. I'll know today. I'll know today. We may do. All right, we're live on the radio in a moment. Well, folks, at 12:06 on this Tuesday, you're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Good afternoon to everybody tuning in. This is, for better or worse, the Noon Report Live, which you can see live simulcast on Facebook. Then later, loaded onto YouTube. Is it live on YouTube? No, it is not live on YouTube. And then also later on Spotify as well. So, but it is Tuesday. It is May 2nd. I'm like everyone else. My God, the weather around here is terrible. What do we live in, London? It's so dreary out. Cloudy and 51. What happened to spring? And more rain. Wait a minute. Is there really more rain coming? Next hour. All right, then dry. Then tomorrow's dry. Then Thursday rain. We're a little bit. Isn't this supposed to be like April showers bring blah, 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 May flowers? Friday cloudy. Saturday cloudy. Sunday cloudy. Yikes. Monday sunny. A week from today, sunny and 73 degrees and then more rain. It's a bad weather system. But nonetheless, that's right. As we overlook the den of thieves, keeping an eye on them. McKeeville. Folks, McKee, the governor who shouldn't be. The governor who lives in his mother. Never forget that. The guy's 1 foot into the basement. But this portion of the program, hey, one thing is, things are really blossoming out there. We did go through a dry spell. I think that has been evaporated. And that's why PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Good afternoon to Debbie of PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Folks, I was just there on Sunday. It's a local business. It's a family business. They have quality merchandise. They have tremendous service. I know many of you have been stopping in. I appreciate it. They appreciate it. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. They have unique gifts. They have, I think, Juan's opinion, the best hydrangeas probably in New England. Blue and pink are available. And on top of that, now they also have the tropical hibiscus, mandevilla plants. So, folks, stop in and see them. They also have pansies, pansy flats, pansy bags, everything to make your property either at home or your business, what have you, your property is beautiful as possible. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. They're open every day, and they work it, and the service is tremendous. I received a nice email from Nancy. Hi, Nancy. who went to one of those big box garden stores and after 15 minutes of no service walked out. I said, good for you, Nancy. Her and Jane drove to PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. All right, so everyone is buzzing over what we posted on the website, DePetro.com. By the way, I'm the only one. DePetro.com, we're the only ones that have the full decision, the Leobor decision on Officer Lugo. So I'm the only one. If you go on to that, log on to DePetro.com, which is, by the way, brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge. I love it there. I was just there Saturday. The staff is fantastic at the Coesit Inn. Pop in for lunch. Pop in for a drink. Have an appetizer. You log on. And well, first of all, you have the Cranston PD Live episode, especially Friday night was terrific. All of them. But then we also have the latest on Charlotte Lester that I'm going to talk about. But you can read the Leobor decision to return Officer Lugo. He wasn't fired. They had a pathetic protest on Friday night. Black Lives Matter PAC, Harry Turtle, had less than 20 people. Less than 20 people. But if you log on to DePetro.com, and I'm the only one to print how that panel, I'll tell you that what's missing of the coverage regarding the Providence police officer that they wanted to fire, Commissioner Perry did, and then they examined it and looked at it, is you look at the headline should have been Jennifer Rourke. The headline should have been that she lied. I mean, you see it. I'm the only. Why am I the only one posting this, folks? Where's all this leading? A report repeatedly testified she did not grab Lugo and refused to acknowledge it when it's clear she grabbed him. She testified she never restricted his movements, which was not true. Jennifer Rourke now, the big progressive. She testified she was pushed from behind into Lugo. Another lie. She stated she was punched with closed fist. Another lie. Testified she never hit or slapped Lugo. Another lie. Rourke testified after Lugo struck her, Lugo ran away. Another lie. One lie after another. Should she have been brought up on charges of misleading police, being untruthful? 100%. Definitely. Yes. Anyhow, you can read it all, and if you're a police officer, you really want to read it. And there's all the pictures. They did a very thorough job. So you can read that, and then you can also read the latest now. And I want to start off with the Charlotte Lester case. Because I'll admit, I get, folks, and many times, and those of you that follow the program talk about, and I don't mean it to be insulting, but I try to explain, the show is not for everyone. I have cited like El Rushbo, who used to say, for those, the EIB network, Advanced Conservative Studies from the Excellence in Broadcasting. This is not, if you're one of those people that when you sit down to watch a football game, you need to have it explained. Okay, you need to get 10 yards for a first down. There's 11 guys on each side. You get 4 downs, the out of bounds and so forth. What a fumble. If you're sitting, who would want to watch football with someone like that? Not me, I can tell you that much. And so many times the program, we have different options, right? We could either play checkers or chess. I can't, and some people don't get this. I'm not here to tutor people. I'm not. We move rapidly. There's homework assignments. You have to go back and watch other episodes. It's on the individual. It's on the individual to get up to speed. We have a group. We're following a story. It's not my responsibility to bring you up to speed on the story. It's up to you to get up to speed with the crowd. Move with the crowd, move no further than the crowd. But you have to move with the crowd. Now, I want to just touch on, because I am amazed. Last night, we did One After Dark, and I took questions. And I am surprised. It's kind of enlightening. I really understand the danger of a jury trial when we go through some of those things. And one of the things I just want to point out now, as far as the Charlotte Lester case, this is the woman reported missing last May, so we're almost up to the year anniversary now, by the Warwick police. There's going to be a vigil for Charlotte with her family and friends, which I will be there. I encourage you to come. We're going to cover it. I'll live stream, obviously. And that will be on the 1 year anniversary when she was last seen alive on Tuesday night, May 16th. Now, she was last seen alive Monday night, May 16th, which last year, May 16th was a Monday, right around 10 o'clock, Apponaug section near the Crow's Nest. A year later now, it's Tuesday. But a lot of the coverage in this, like and again, I'm wrong. I think people are absorbing it. But then when I do, like, okay, you can ask any question, I realize that maybe people are not absorbing it. So let me just explain something. People, well, I certainly hope she returns safely to her family. No, wrong. Like, what are you talking about? Why do you think the police were at that house for a month? For a month. Do you know what you have to show a judge? First of all, in order to get a search warrant, you have to show some form of evidence. Just to get a search warrant, right? You ever see a movie TV, they knock at the door? No, you're not coming in here without a warrant. So then they have to go and get a judge to sign off on it, various reasons why they need it. It's one thing to get a warrant to search something. It's an entirely different matter to be able to take over a premises for a month. I want to remind people, the Mar-a-Lago raid, where they take it over. We are now in charge of this. It's a crime scene, right? The Mar-a-Lago raid, what was that? 8 hours, maybe? 10? Max? They were there for a month. They weren't there because they liked the view of the street. They weren't there because they thought maybe she'll come wandering back. So these people saying, well, I certainly am praying that she returns safely to her family. That's not the prayer that I would encourage. If I was sitting next to you in the pew in church, I'd say, what? Let's rework that a little bit. Let's pray for answers. Let's pray for justice. Let's pray for people to be held accountable for their actions. Return safely to her family? If that's your response, you're not paying attention to the story. Folks, she's not going to be, and I have, bearer of bad news here. She's not going to be returned safely to her family. Obviously, it is, it's called a missing persons case because the person has not been found. Now, in fairness to some people that say that, I notice, and this just happened last week, this woman posted, my sister is missing in Cranston. That was about a week ago. And the police didn't put it out. The family did. Now, I didn't run with it because the police didn't put it out. So all these people, there were people sending this to me, missing person. No, not so much. There was a woman in Warwick recently. Has anyone seen this woman? It was her mother. She, quote, went missing. Not really. She wasn't really missing. When you read between the lines, and no one specific, but many times it becomes someone goes on a drug binge, so they disappear for a few days. There's young people, a teen that goes missing. Most of the time, they meet someone online and they go away. That's not someone fool, right? Lacey Peterson. Lacey Peterson was missing, but she was abducted by her husband, Scott Peterson, and then, he murdered her. So there's a difference in different categories. So I understand when you have, and tragically, it is unfortunately many times teens, they meet people online, they convince them to go off with them. They usually travel out of state somewhere. They're missing from their family, but they're not taken against their will. They're not, they just, again, I'm just saying, I can understand someone saying, I'm praying they return safely. Last summer, I had this woman who was like my I think it was grandson. Grandson, he's missing. Well, he's missing. He lives in West Warwick. No one's covering the story. I had people reaching out. Hey, you're not covering the story. No, he wasn't missing. He was a runaway teen from West Warwick who didn't want to live with his family, so he was staying with some friends in Providence. You should be all over that. Excuse me, that's not a missing person. That is a troubled teen for whatever reason. But we're not like they knew where he was. The kid didn't want to live at home for whatever reasons. But that's not a missing person. That's a runaway. A lot of these stories are runaways. This particular situation, this is a missing person. 2 nights later, the dog was found, then the truck was found. But I feel I've done all I can on DePetro.com and through our coverage that, I'm going to come back to where were the police for a month? Who attacked me in August for exposing the information about the mattress? At this point, if you can't figure out where this case kind of leads, then I can't help you at this point. I cannot. And I get that. Because there are people that say, I don't know who's buried in Grant's tomb. At this point, I can't, But these are some of the people that end up on a jury, unfortunately. These are some of the people that end up on a jury. I thought it was interesting last night. Some people, now why wasn't the FBI brought in? What does that have to do with anything? Who knows? That's a law enforcement question. Why wasn't the state police brought in? I don't know. Warwick's an accredited police agency. If they had trouble or couldn't produce something, by the way, I don't know that they didn't utilize those two. But they're not announcing that, right? Like they're not. I think some people also, and I'm not trying to. People that have questions, I can understand that, but I think some people have some false misconceptions on how much information is given. Right? As if I contact the Warwick Police. Now, can you lay out for me what role the FBI and the state police? Sure, John. Do you want that in email form, or do you want to? Do you think they're not going to answer that? That stuff? They're not going to answer that. Why would they? They don't need to. I don't expect them to. At some point, maybe they will. Not right now. That's why, I always favor police organizations that will stand, like I say, and I've said, Cranston Police. Could they get any more transparent? I'm riding in the front seat. Providence Police, boom, right there. Police chief in Woonsocket, Chief Oates, just a couple of weeks ago, immediately called me right back, had the information I was looking for. Pawtucket is good with press releases, not so much going on camera, for whatever reason. Chief of North Providence, very, very responsive. I do get answers from state police sometimes when they can, and I've had communication with them, as some of you have seen at crime scenes. I have. Let me think who else. A lot of people we deal with. Coventry, hey, they gave a statement that night at the murder-suicide. They did. But anyhow, so I want to just leave this. Listen, it's important for the community to come out on May 16th because we live, we live in a civilized society, and I fully believe Warwick Police have put all as much as they possibly can. They've never given up on that case. It's not an easy case. Remember, hindsight's always 20/20. What last night someone asked, why didn't the family call sooner? There's always, it's like that with everything. Why didn't anybody call sooner? You have people that end up in the hospital that then think, I should have gone to the doctor sooner. There's always going to be the 20/20 hindsight. Yes, in hindsight, if on Tuesday, May 17th, a family member or friend had called the police and said, I think we have a missing person. Okay, even then I still think they wait 24 hours. But it could have been a well-being check, and things could have started in motion. So, okay, that's true. They didn't, for whatever reason, they waited till that Thursday. But let's pivot into the Brian Walsh case, right? He allegedly murdered her sometime New Year's Eve, probably actually the early morning hours of New Year's Day. We've learned more that with Anna Walsh, the woman from Cohasset, that the dinner guest they had, that she was drinking pretty. She was a little tipsy, which is fine. She's in her own home, for crying out loud. It's New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Kids are asleep. He was not drinking. He had something else in mind, as a matter of fact. So who knows what sparked that? But she didn't show up for work that Tuesday. Her work people didn't call, and then that Wednesday they did call the police. So, so now, and I also, this is really important, and I try to make parallels to people between the Anna Walsh case and the Charlotte Lester case. I feel like it falls on deaf ears. I'm going to try one more time for some of the people that say, have they searched here or there and so forth. I can't point out enough, as much as I try to lead people, in the Anna Walsh case, the woman from Cohasset, that the husband, Brian Walsh, is accused of murdering in the home, and then he was doing the Google searches and dismembering her. They did find things in the dumpster connected to where his mother lives in Swampscott that they felt, remember, they found it at the Peabody transfer station. So that they were able to locate. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet when that case fully gets fleshed out that the dumpster where Brian Walsh allegedly put some of the Anna Walsh, some of her clothing, handbag, I think COVID ID card, there was then some blood and tissue. I think that was only dumped like once a week. Whereas they know, and they tracked him, that he was near dumpsters in Brockton and Abington. But here's the part that there's a disconnect that people don't get. You have to understand, the investigators, they know he went to those dumpsters. They know where those dumpsters went, and they still can't find remains of Anna Walsh. I think some people just don't get that. Do you see? Meaning, do you know how difficult it is? They knew what dumpsters he went to. They knew where they believe, as gory as it is, that he was, disposing of body parts after dismembering his wife, who he had a $2.7 million insurance policy on, and who was like, hey, listen, you may be going to jail, but I'm bringing our 3 children to Washington, D.C. with me. I just don't think people understand that. So when people talk about, like, for instance, the landfill, you're not getting it. They have no idea. I'm going to go a hypothetical. Let's just say, total hypothetical, but let's just say a person was put in a dumpster somewhere in Rhode Island and then ended up at the landfill. The odds of finding that are very, very low, if any possibility. I don't even know what the odds would be. Total needle in a haystack. That's if you don't know. Here's the thing. I'm going to finish the thought. In the Anna Walsh case, they know the dumpsters and they can't find her remains at the transfer station. And they know what dumpsters it went in. And it was a short window of time. It was the same week. I just don't think there's some people that are absorbing that. Well, they checked the landfill. Check the landfill for when? I mean, again, I don't want to belabor the point. And I do want to talk about Trump going on CNN because it's important. Folks, good afternoon at 1228. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Listen, everything, if you look at a case like a baseball game, where are we in a 9-inning game? I am now upping the Charlotte Lester. I believe we're getting closer to the 8th inning. If we're already not in the 8th inning, I think we're getting closer to that. I get it. Some people need everything mapped out for them, or they just don't absorb it. But for those that want, there's a lot of clues there. There's a lot of clues. I want to repeat, no one has been charged with a crime. I'm not identifying anyone. as someone. You called that person. I've never called anyone a killer or murderer or anything. I want to repeat, this is no one's been charged with a crime because it is a missing persons case. Even if someone is charged with murder, it'll still be they are charged. It is alleged that these things took place. Some things are facts. Some things are facts. But we have never gone down. I mean, I purposely go out of my way every time to say no one's been charged. And I know they're watching. I know, good afternoon. I know there's a certain defense attorney that's watching. They watch everything I do because we're so far ahead. I did get one of those emails. I went on the Providence Journal website. They didn't have that information you have. Gee, no way. Really? Oh, okay. Who's the president? Reagan? The Journal. The last time I was at a crime scene and the Journal was there I don't even know when was the last time that happened. Print, you guys are living in the past. This portion of the John DePetro Show, folks, it's brought to you by J. Perry Paving. Listen, it's really simple. You want to improve the look of your driveway or property. Hey, it starts with how people are approaching your property. I remember years ago, there was a so-called famous place that people used to go. I'm not going to say what it was, but I hadn't been there in a really long time, but people would rave about it. And so I remember pulling up, and the parking lot was a disgrace. The parking lot was gravel, as a matter of fact. Like, now, since then, since business fell off, they've redone it. But J. Perry Paving, if you're a business, many times that's the first impression that people get. Residential or commercial patios, J. Perry Paving, high quality, letter J, J. Perry Paving, fair pricing, exceptional service, 20 years experience. Hey, call for a free estimate. Father's Day's coming. You know what your dad or grandfather, you know what they would really love? How about a new driveway? Or how about for Mother's Day? 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730, letter J, J. Perry Paving. Licensed and insured contracted company. I know them. I've worked with them. They're fantastic. I go out and film their stuff. Talk about satisfied customers. J. Perry Paving. Hey, whether it's a brand new paving project or just cracked driveway needs to be refreshed. Letter J, J. Perry Paving. 401-732-1730. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by Ryan's Appliance Repair. I just the other day got an email from someone asking, Juan, who is that person? I don't know exactly what is wrong. I think there's something wrong with their washing machine. And I said Ryan's Appliance Repair. When your appliance is dying, just call Ryan. 401-710-7096. 401-710-7096. Ryan's Appliance Repair. It's like a doctor. Your washing machine, your dryer, stove, refrigerator, oven, whatever. It's on the fritz, as we used to say. Call Ryan's Appliance Repair. Saturday appointments are available. All work is guaranteed. 90 days parts and labor. Ryan has fixed multiple appliances in my home. Hey, what are you going to do? Your refrigerator is not working properly, or your washing machine. Wait, you going to load it in the back of the station wagon and bring it back to Sears? Like that's going to happen. No, you need someone to come out. Ryan will fix those appliances. 401-710-7096. He's also on Facebook. You know what else? I'm going to give a plug. Someone did contact me and said they need. I'll just cut to the chase. I gave out the information to our friend Coogan Heating and Oil. Excuse me. Let me hold on. Why can't I find where's the Coog? Where is he? I have his information right here. I had it right. Coogan Heating. Yes. Give them a call. I gave him a recommendation. Somebody reached out. I don't know why I can't find my notes for RE Coogan and Heating. All right. I mean, I know it. They do fantastic work. Contact Coogie. It's Coogie, and he's a big supporter. And I have no idea why right now I cannot. But I can. I'm going to pivot into, because you can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Facebook. Coogan Heating. Give them a call today. Or a problem with. Let me just pull up. I'll do the full plug here for Coogie. R.E. Coogan and Heating. There we go. Let's see. And the phone number is later that day 732-6562. Let us into your home. Don't fix it alone. 401-732-6562. R.E. Coogan and Heating. And they can do it all. So they do fantastic work. Coog is a big supporter. He's also become a very good friend of mine. R.E. Coogan and Heating. And they're great people, residential or commercial. He was a big hit at the home show. So maybe you're having a problem, hot water heater, air conditioning, whatever it may be. Maybe your boiler, whatever it may be. R.E. Coogan and Heating. Call them 401-732-6562. Now, what time is it? One must need to stay on schedule. All right, 12:35. Now, again, I put the information out there, and I give you leads of how you can find it. I received an email from someone. How can I watch Cranston PD Live? This is, I think his name is Henry, his brother. That's all he talks about. And it was a rainy weekend, and his brother and his sister-in-law, and I think one of the kids, they binge watched. He said, according to him, he said his brother binge watched like 10 episodes of Cranston PD Live. They love it. So he said, how can I find this? Okay, that's a fair question. And I'll answer that. I don't mind answering questions. I mean, many times one is I am the answer man. And that's fine. That's my role. But if you log on to DePetro.com, is that D-I? No, there's no I. DEPTRO.com. First of all of the episodes are right there. But if you like, and I was walking him through this, on the top right-hand side are all my links to social media. Oh, is that what those things are? Yes, that's what those things are. There's the link to the YouTube channel. There's the link to Facebook. There's the link to Twitter. There's the link to Instagram. And if you scroll down, we even have TikTok that has gone really, really well. We're building a big following on TikTok. Folks, I'm all about, Juan is all about, like, you fish where the fish are. Where we are different, and I am different than other, quote, media people in the market, is you go where the people are. Just the other day, I was pumping gas. The guy's like, hey, I follow you on TikTok. Okay, that's his platform. And some people frown on it, but that's how he knows how to find my stuff. Obviously, a lot of people listen to the radio, and then a number of people watch the Facebook Live stuff, and then a lot of the YouTube stuff. But we go where the fish are. And that leads me to President Trump going on CNN. And it's really significant about President Trump going to do a town hall meeting on CNN. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But this portion of the program, folks, it's brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. I have bad news for you. One is the bearer of bad news. Over the next few weeks and months, there's a very good chance, residential or commercial, home or business, you are going to be dealing with termites or bed bugs or ants. Oh, there's some ants or roaches or mice, rats, mosquitoes. You know what's funny about ants in your house? It's kind of like alarming. Like, where did they come from? What is that? I tell the story of a friend of mine. They had moved into a beautiful new home. And as they were having some people over, they brought the housewarming gift and everything. And as they're showing the people around the home, all of a sudden something went running by. Then they realized, yes, this beautiful home they have. It's like 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet. Yeah, and it had some mice. He was like mortified. Like, holy cow, what did we pay? You have to call a pest person. Call Falcon. Hey, it's not a sin to have pests. It's a sin not to do anything about the pests. Falcon Pest Services. And right now they're hiring. They have a job opportunity for the right person. But again, whether it is this was a brand new 6,000 square foot home that these people moved into. And they had mice. It happens. Or suddenly you're like, whoa, we have ants in the kitchen. Or we have, what have you. Um, when I was one of my first jobs was a dishwasher on Park Avenue, Reservoir Avenue in Cranston. And I remember when I was either hauling out the trash or I had to go and get something in the basement, and they had roaches and and I was freaked by it. But he was like, "Oh no, I gotta call the exterminator." Folks, Falcon Pest Services, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Don't be in, if you want to be embarrassed, that's fine. But the better solution is, it's not a sin to have pests, it's a sin not to do anything about it. Call them today, 401-739-1322 for Falcon Pest Services. Now, at 12:39, almost 12:40, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Couple things. It's not your imagination. I received a text from a friend of mine saying, boy, local television news, the turnover is just unbelievable right now. And it is, right? It's not your imagination. It is. There is a lot of turnover. But as I ask people, but let's talk about that. I still remember Tuesday nights growing up. Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. I don't think we were allowed to watch Three's Company. I was too young. But Saturday nights, Love Boat, Fantasy Island. I remember when I was very young, Saturday nights, I think Saturday night was the big night for television. All in the Family, Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore, Carol Burnett. When was the last time you sat? Did I watch television last night? I did. I watched the Celtics game. Did I watch television Sunday night? I did. I watched the Bruins game. Did I watch anything else? Yes. I watched Succession on HBO. I didn't watch anything on commercial television. When's the last time I watched something on CBS? I watched the Masters. I watch March Madness. When do I watch television? I watch the NFL. I'll watch the Bruins. Well, they're out of it now. I'll watch. That was a bad Celtic loss last night. Holy cow. Gee, I wonder what James Harden is going to do with the ball the way he's dribbling like that above the three-point line. Gee, I don't know. Maybe launch a three? Holy cow. But my point is, it all trickles down. It's not your imagination. Television is changing. Television. People are watching streaming. People are watching Succession on HBO. People are watching White Lotus, which is streamed. People are watching Cranston PD Live, One After Dark, which is streamed. They're not I guess there are still some people like, yeah, I'll put on, I don't even know what these shows are anymore. I just don't. But my point is, now locally, if you've been paying attention, it's not your imagination. It is local television is really changing. Television, first of all, the strike that's about to happen in Hollywood is not going to help matters by any means. I think they're shutting down a lot of the live stuff. Jimmy Kimmel, Saturday Night Live, all those shows are going to be shut down with a strike. But television is about to forfeit the 10 o'clock hour because people are just not watching. They're not. I'm not saying, you have a half hour to kill. People go on TikTok for a half hour. They go on YouTube for a half hour. It's all like, what are you doing with that free time? Or you're watching, streaming, Netflix, or you're watching various streaming services type shows, but you're not watching that type of, yeah, that's right. Well, the soap operas, the cackle, still watching the soap operas. But my point is, it's not, look at Joe Quezada's lead. Now, Joe Quezada, who I like a lot, and I said, I like him a lot, but television news, sports, I think he joined to cover the Patriots, the Red Sox, the Celtics. Now suddenly, as I said, you're interviewing like the undefeated girls volleyball team. It's all like local high school sports because people, who's going to wait till 6 o'clock to find out if the Celtics won last night? The answer is nobody. So conversely, people are not watching television as much, and they're not watching cable. I mean, Fox is getting killed at night, But even Tucker's numbers were down from O'Reilly. It's an evolving landscape, and less people are watching it. So therefore, they just have less viewers. And so you have like Steph Machado's leaving Channel 12. Michelle Muscatello left Channel 12. Danielle North left Channel 12. Kelly Bates left Channel 6. Channel 6 had that guy, Casey something in the morning, and he just left. Channel 10, they're all, losing people because people are looking for other means of entertainment, which brings us to President Trump going to do a town hall meeting on CNN. And I want to touch on that. And before I do, folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. Listen, the same thing, healthcare is changing. If you want to wait 6 or 7 hours in an emergency room, be my guest. Or you could do what I encourage people to do. Go to AtMed Urgent Care when you need urgent care. I've been to both locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue, Johnson, the Atwood Medical Center, and 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich, AtMed Urgent Care. 7 days a week, doctors and nurses. If you're in a car accident, have them check you out. AtMed. AtMed is an easy way. Every single week, I have people email me saying something happened, someone was hurt at work, work-related injury, what have you. They need to go to an emergency room. What's that place? AtMed, AtMed Urgent Care. Post Road, East Greenwich, across from Felicia's, and in the Atwood Medical Center. And again, cost-efficient healthcare alternative to hospital-based emergencies. So, there was someone that was a follower of the program, and I'm being really serious. At 12:46, folks, good afternoon on this Tuesday. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I had someone, he stopped following me on social media. He was so angry when he learned that I had been on CNN and the host was Don Lemon. How could you do that? I can't believe you did that one. That's it. I am never, listen, I was asked to go on. I was defending the Trump administration. What are we talking about? Yes, I did. That is it. That they are the enemy. You never do that. You should have said no, blah, blah, blah. Trump is going on CNN. And what do I think about that? First of all, the Trump crowd, of which, listen, I am supportive. They're not doing a lot of things right, but he may end up being the nominee. So it's not like I'm off the train. I'm waiting to see how this thing is going to evolve. And you can't rule them out. A lot of people, a lot of the Republican base, a lot of Trump people are really confused right now. Tucker was fired by Fox. They're told not to watch Fox. Even though they like a lot of the shows on Fox. They like Laura Ingraham. They like Mark Levin. They like Hannity. They like Jesse Waters. They like The Five. They like Fox and Friends. They like Greg Gutfeld. So they like watching Fox. But now they're told they're not supposed to. It's kind of like that. I got an email from someone that said, I can't believe you mentioned the NFL. We're not supposed to watch the NFL. I missed the memo. Who said who? President Trump said, don't watch the NFL. Yeah, wasn't that 2 years ago? What are you talking about? We're not supposed to watch the NFL. Listen, David Koresh called. They're missing you at Waco with the Branch Davidians. Talk about a clueless cult member. Trump going on CNN. I think it is wise. I think it is smart. I can't believe he's doing this. Listen, what do you want him to do? He's trying to do a reset. He's trying to... A Trump advisor said CNN executives made a compelling pitch and noted the former president is running to be president for all Americans. Going outside the traditional Republican comfort zone was a key to his success in 2016. Some other candidates are too afraid to take this step in their quest to defeat Joe Biden and are afraid to do anything other than Fox News. Adding the town hall as part of a broader effort to jumpstart the relationship CNN and Trump's team had in the past. Now, I was critical, and I got nasty emails from some of you about Jeff Deal. I would discuss it with Donna Perry. Jeff Deal, I'm not doing any mainstream interviews. You fish where the fish are. It's this running debate because Peter Nerona, the Attorney General, is on Twitter. Right? The famous line, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Why do you fish at that spot? Because that's where the fish are. I mean, it's always about that. I don't know what to tell people that don't grasp that. Like there were I don't want to make it about me, but there are people that will say, "Oh, so you go and cover things that people just because people want to watch it." Yes. Yes. As opposed to what? What do you think I'm going to go and film? People having a boring discussion in a blanking library somewhere? Something like, what is wrong with you? Yes, guilty. Yeah, I think I like to cover things that I find interesting that I think other people would find interesting. You know, you can always come back to, oh, so it's all about selling newspapers. It's all about getting clicks. It's all about getting views. If a politician does something, oh, it's all about getting votes. And if an athlete hits a home run, oh, it's all about the contract. Somebody runs in for a touchdown, oh, it's all about the endorsements. I mean, you can always come back to that. A guy, meets a woman in a bar and says, hey, may I buy you a drink? Oh, so you think you're going to take me home tonight? Listen, you could always come down to that. Hey, just want to sell newspapers. Yeah, I do think it's a wise move. I do know the Trump people lost on that. I thought CNN was fake news. Well, they were very aggressive against President Trump. But he is running to be the president for everyone. As Jeff Deal, I never agreed with that strategy. Nope, no interviews. See, that's the problem with the Trump imitators. Because they don't know what the drill is. He knows what the drill is. He knows. If President Trump could go on Morning Joe and get a fair shake and be treated fairly, he would do it. Because there were viewers there. I think this is a very positive move. And apparently, because Governor DeSantis, who I'm not sold on, by the way, I don't know if he's the guy. I know he's been a good governor, by and large, with Florida. But, I mean, I'm getting messages from, like, can you believe this? First of all, Caitlin Collins, she's good. She's not part of the deep state. It's all fake, dude. Like, what? See, this is the problem with people that read Gateway Pundit and follow some of these people on the right, that they deal and peddle in nonsense. Because then when the narrative changes, they're flipped upside down. I got a disturbing message from someone. Oh, my God. Trump is going on CNN. Is he crazy? Listen, what do you... It's not worth the risk. The risk. He needs to be on CNN. He needs to reach as many people as possible with his message. Do you think they got to him? Do I think who got to him? The deep state. Oh my God. I think, and this is a message I got. Now, I don't post messages because I need people when they're messaging me to have confidence that I'm not going to post communication. Conversely, I don't like when people post communication I have with them. Meaning, someone asks me to do a story, I'm like, I don't really see it as a story. Oh, look at this. I thought you call yourself a journalist. I never said I'm Mike Wallace, okay? And they have like an end game there. But anyhow, I actually got a message from someone saying, I'll bet it was because of the vaccine. They gave him Trump when he went into the hospital for COVID. They now... okay. So we're not talking about like off the train. Oh, so I get it. So Bill Gates, Obama, and Fauci, they put a certain vaccine in Trump. They now have control over his brain, and now he's going on CNN. Listen, if you actually believe that, you need to, and I don't mean tomorrow, I mean today, you need to contact Butler Hospital and admit yourself immediately if you believe that. That is beyond asinine. Well, anything's possible. No, actually, that's not true. Anything is not possible. Anything is not possible. Well, anything's possible. Well, that's not true. No, that's not true. He's going on CNN because Fauci, Gates, and Obama slipped him a vaccine. So maybe now they have control over his brain and the deep state is controlling him. Okay. Well, again, good luck with that. Best of luck. I think we're getting an indication why the family is no longer inviting you over for Thanksgiving dinner. Based on this communication. Well, it must be true. Alex Jones said it. Well, I didn't realize we were going to Alex Jones. The Gateway Pundit had it. Did you miss that? It must be true. Gabby, what's her face? Tulsi Gabbard said it. So, and Candace Owens. So it must be true. Yeah. Except it's not. And I'm not saying those individuals said that, but no. It's about, number one, right now, because of Tucker Carlson, he doesn't want to go on Fox. And Don Jr. is striking back saying, I haven't been invited on Fox in 9 months. So, listen, the crowd will come back to Fox. We'll see where and how Tucker will surface. But this is also really important because CNN is everywhere. You want to watch CNN? You put on your TV. You can't do that with Newsmax. I'm not convinced Tucker goes to Newsmax because there's still... CNN is on every cable system. It's about access. It's about getting access to eyeballs. That's what it's about. And President Trump, to his credit, recognizes it. So I have a prediction on this Trump town hall on CNN. You know what's going to happen? It's going to go incredibly well. And what do I mean by that? I mean it's going to pull the highest ratings CNN has had for 2023 by far. It'll give them their highest ratings. And he's doing a town hall in New Hampshire. I also have a feeling that he and Caitlin Collins will hit it off. It's going to be 9 o'clock on May 10th, where he's going to take questions from New Hampshire Republicans at St. Anselm College. It'll be his first appearance on CNN since the 2016 presidential campaign. And you have some people have said they won't, like if that's accurate, what I played a cut the other day, DeSantis won't go on NBC and MSNBC. I never agree with that. It's about, what would President Trump gain by going on whatever forum Dan Bongino has? Nothing. He has that crowd. How many times can President Trump go on with Mark Levin? How many times can he go on with Hannity? That's not the crowd. I try to explain this to people. That you're not, if you are the Trump diehard, and no matter what, he's the guy you're voting for him, he doesn't need to reach you. He already found you. He needs to reach the Democrats that voted for him in 2016 and the independents. So a lot of the action, I can't believe he's, that's crazy. I can't believe he's going on CNN. He needs to go on CNN. He does. He needs to widen his base. Much like CNN needs him. And it will be a relationship of convenience. I think it's actually a very strategic move. I think it's one of the best moves he's done. I think it was smart going to Ohio after the train derailment. And I think this is smart. This shows me he really wants to win. It does. The fact he's willing to do that. Do a reset. New management over there. They're going to have him on. And it's going to go great. And you know what that means? He's going to do another one. And he'll do another one with Caitlin Collins. And they'll work in a relationship. This is all part of a trick by Fauci and Obama and the deep state. And Gates is mixed in there. Okay, keep thinking that. But like I said, maybe it's time to return to the Branch Davidians. What's left of them. Folks, this portion of the program, listen, I recognize, hey, you had another major bank fail. Call Tom Bryan today, free consultation, Ameriprise Financial, free consultation, 401-434-1510. We're going to have him on tomorrow. Office is located 400 Massasoit Avenue in East Providence. It is confusing. It is concerning when you do have another major bank, another bank collapse, second biggest in history. Stocks under pressure. They had someone scoop right in and, bail them out. But now would be a time to sit down, free consultation. Our guy, Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial, 401-434-1510. Contact Tom Bryan today. You'll be in good hands. Folks, it's 12:59. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. Next hour, politics this week. Justin Katz. We're going to talk about Burrillville becoming the new homeless zone. McKee versus the AG. The Lugo decision with Leobor. Much more. It's all ahead. Next hour, and also the City of Providence, this ridiculous lawsuit against Meta and Facebook. Folks, we're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. Stay tuned to the John DePetro Show.